presented by TIAA Bank. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Jaguars great Fred Taylor will break down today's game. Jeff Lageman will have player interviews and an exclusive conversation with head coach Doug Marrone. Jaguars Postgame is sponsored by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, Geico, and by TIAA Bank. Jaguars Postgame starts right now.
Welcome in, Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Final score, Ravens 40, Jaguars 14. We'll have Fred Taylor coming up in just a little bit to join us, pride of the Jaguars running back. We'll have the first word with head coach Doug Marrone. Jeff Lageman standing by for that as well. All Ravens, all day, and a big difference in where these two organizations are right now.
Yeah, in a season of lows, I mean, this is the low point, I think. I mean, they were not competitive in this football game, although they got an early second-half touchdown. It was already 26-0 at that point, JP, and you know, you let a quarterback come in and make a couple of plays with his feet there at the end who's never played in the National Football League. You know, it was just that kind of day. You know, it really didn't matter what the Jaguars threw out there. The Ravens had an answer for pretty much everything, and it was a day where Lamar Jackson did not dominate whatsoever on the ground today, only running for 35 yards, I think it was. He did have the one rushing touchdown, but you know, just the Jags didn't have an answer for anything, offensively or defensively, at least not when the game was still in doubt.
Right, and they didn't get anything going offensively today, as you said there. Minshew, the numbers are efficient. They're 22 of 29, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is not indicative of what really happened today.
No, I mean, look, it just goes to show you what statistics can do. He had a quarterback rating. Are you ready for this? Of 120.8. What game are we watching here? I mean, who came up with this formula? You know, this is what I agree with the guys on the broadcast. You look at the numbers, you're like, oh, yeah, it's not too bad. Didn't get intercepted. You got sacked 5 times. That's not always on the quarterback, although some of them were today. But ultimately, I mean, Gardner, you know, emblematic was the play to DJ Chark late in this game. They ended up getting the touchdown to Chris Conley, but DJ Chark is wide open behind his man in the end zone, and Gardner Minshew throws a big old lollipop in there, and you see it once again immediately. DJ Chark has to play defense, knock the ball down, and immediately you could see the frustration visible on his body, his face. He's just shaking his head like, come on, man. All you got to do is get me the football, and we got a touchdown. So it wasn't a good day for Gardner, despite what the statistics may tell you. If you watch the game, you know that.
James Robinson couldn't get the running game going either. 16 carries, 35 yards, by far his lowest output. He just couldn't get anything rolling today on the ground.
No, and look, you know, last week you had 2 linemen out. You only had the one out this week, but I mean, at this point, are you threatened at all by a Jaguar quarterback? So if you're the opposing defense, all you're doing is keying on James Robinson every single time. It is amazing, JP, that he could play for a team that has a 13-game losing streak. And they give him the ball as much as they do, and he still has had the success he's had. Now, probably in some of those games, the opponents were playing because, hey, the only way the other team can get back into it when you're down or up big and they're down big is to throw their way back into it. So maybe he benefited a little bit from some of that along the way. But they've never really gone away from James Robinson this year, and to get to this point and have the numbers he has is pretty remarkable.
Time now for the first word with head coach Doug Marrone, presented by Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. And here's Jeff Lageman.
Thank you, JP. Doug, the game starts out in strong fashion. You get an interception by Josh Jones, but from that point on, it was a struggle for your football team.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we weren't able to, really get anything done. I think, early on I thought we did a good job versus the quarterback runs. Did a good job throughout the most of the game until a couple in the third quarter. But, they made plays, and, he made plays in the passing game. They had 3 touchdowns. They had some speed. They beat us with some speed. We couldn't get up to them. I think guys were just trying. And offensively up front, they were a stronger football team than us today, and it showed.
Yeah, at the end of the half, Lamar Jackson had 5 carries and only 3 yards, and you guys yet were down 26-0. And I think it goes to show that you talked about it during the week that the Ravens aren't just about Lamar Jackson rushing the football. Those running backs do a really good job as well.
They do. I mean, there's a lot of speed out there, and you saw that. And what happens is, even when he's throwing it, and he can extend plays, and you got to be able to run with these guys all over the field. And you saw a couple of times they were able to, pull away from us, not just because we weren't in position, but we just couldn't keep up.
Gardner Minshew gets the start. It's been a while since he had a start. Looked like he was a little rusty today, and having a hard time getting it going offensively. And you got to have a rhythm to keep pace with a high-powered Ravens team.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's not just him. I think everybody had a hard day today, obviously out there, and we got to just take this team, regroup. It's not from a lack of effort. It's obviously execution to be able to make plays and having guys come up big in certain situations and at certain times in the game, and that's not what's happening. So we got to take a step back, and then we got to get ourselves ready and get ourselves back for our last home game.
All right, Doug, safe travels back to Jacksonville.
Great. Thank you, Jeff.
That's the first word with head coach Doug Marrone, presented by Navy Mutual, ensuring those who serve. We're back in a moment. Jeff Lageman sticks with us for one more segment. We'll recap this.
Going to raise the volume up a little bit.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead with D-Rock.
Hey, Doug, what do you tell your guys after that one?
Well, I mean, I can tell you what I told them in the locker room. I told them that, hey, listen, we came out here today, and this team, clearly was the better team today. And, a lot of things that, there's some things obviously I thought, we did well, but for the most part, I'm not going to, point those out. Obviously, we weren't good enough in all these phases. I told the players, talk to them about our schedule next week, talk about our mindset, talking about, playing our last home game and, really trying to, put this game behind us quickly and move forward. And meaning that, we're going to try to go on to, Chicago, instead of, this team has been going through a lot. They've been trying hard, and, we understand that, and I know they're professionals, but, hey, can we gather up all of us together, coaches and players, and, the greatest gift that we can all give to each other is the gift of, winning a football game. That's what I told them afterwards.
Why were you guys not able to get anything going offensively in the first half, especially in the pass game?
Well, more so, I think it was, in the run game. I think that, up front, they were big, physical. They played better than we did. I mean, we were getting 1 or 2 yards, and in the play action game, we weren't able to make plays. Either not pulling the trigger or not being in good position, or pressure coming, it gets to you. There's a lot of things. It's when you don't play that well, Mike, it's not one thing. It's everything, from protection to everyone's accountable for it. There's can't really point your finger at one thing when not a lot is working. And you come off, I think the first half, I don't know if it was like 60 yards or 80 yards in the first half, but I mean, whether it's running, passing, you have that in the NFL, nothing's working.
Thanks, D-Rock. All right, let's go to John Shipley and then Gene Fournette.
Coach, just how much of a kind of a loop and how big of an adjustment did you guys have to make with Logan not being able to play?
I mean, you're always prepared for it. Just, like if you had an injury right before the game, that you're ready to go for it. It changed a little bit, went back, last night after, we knew, and then obviously we always have a plan, that Aldrich would, take over those duties. And, then we just kind of look at some of the, then the analytics of a game of how you prepare and how you approach the game change a little bit. So, they changed and we put it down. So I had it on my sheet, and I was just making sure that I was looking at it and what would be, the correct decisions to make from an analytical standpoint, and then obviously, from a feel of a game standpoint.
Thanks, Coach.
I guess my answer is, yeah, there is obviously change.
Thanks, John. Let's go over to Gene.
Hey, Doug, you mentioned earlier before you just came on with us that you thought that you guys had trouble keeping up with their speed. You've also talked about how they kind of got the better of you physically up front. When you put those two things together, what does that tell you about your roster in terms of how much this roster needs to improve to get where you guys want to go?
Yeah, I think those things, Gene, and again, it's a valid question. For me, what I look at is, okay, can we get to the quarterback faster so they can't outrun us near the end of it? Can we, how do we do that? How do we, create better angles or leverage? If we can't, take care of the inside powerful players how do we get them running early? And maybe, I've been through this before. You play big, powerful teams. Sometimes, I go in there and I say, listen, we're gonna run nakeds and screens and perimeter stuff, and we're gonna get these big guys running, get them tired, and stay on the field, and hopefully get them out of the game. I think there's a lot of things going in. I think when you talk about, and I've gotten a lot of questions or people trying to get to me, and like I said, I'm always with you guys. No one nationally and all that other crap, but everyone's getting on me or asking about that stuff, and I just tell them, I said that's for after. We have the people we have. I'm proud of them, and I'm behind them 100%. And that's really it. I think people are gonna say what they say, and then I think afterwards, then it's a fair question. I think when the season's over and you have time to evaluate it, I think our fans and everyone, they deserve those answers. So I would agree with that. I just don't have it in me at this time to really comment on that.
As a follow-up, could you just talk about your offensive line today? 5 sacks. Now, granted, some of it may have been on Gardner for leaving the pocket too early, but how did you generally feel about that? About the offensive line today?
No one going into the game, Gene. They got rushes now. They got guys that can push the pocket on the inside and come on the outside. And they, Wink. I saw him after the game. I've known him for a long time. He does a really good job pressure-wise. Coming after us. Cover zero, different types of pressures, different types of people. Trying to get open. I think you always, as a coach and even as a player, I think you look at it and there's always disappointment. At many different levels, like I said, whether it be, hey, maybe I can control it, maybe I should step up in the pocket, hey, maybe I've got to finish at the top of the rush. What I'm saying? These players, I think a lot of that stuff goes into it. But I would challenge anyone that gets behind, in this league against a defense like that and their pressure package and the players that they have, those things are going to happen, and it's unfortunate, but. I'm not saying it's part of the game. You have to play better than that. There's no doubt about it. So I think to answer your question, I think everyone gets disappointed and everyone has responsibility at all those different levels, like you mentioned.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks, Gene. Let's take one more question from John Reed.
Coach, how much was it influence not having Logan that you went on the 4th down plays? I think you did it twice in the first half. Did that have a big influence on you to go for 4th down, not having your punter?
Yeah, I think, it goes back, John, to the first thing we talked about. So, we were looking at, or I was looking at the analytics of it for, gain of field position, where Aldrich was as far as punting, 4th and, so basically, we kind of expanded that zone more so where, if you're looking at fourth or 6 or less, you have a 40% chance of, really making it, and if we go more than that, then obviously the number decreases and you got to make some decisions. So, I guess my point is, obviously like anything, you make adjustments, you know what I'm saying? When things occur. Did I feel forced to do that? No, I just thought that was the best chance for our team, to win the game. And, I want to make sure that, just because, Logan wasn't able to play, that didn't cost us the game. You know what I mean? I know we all understand that, but, to answer your point, hey, listen, if you have those things occur, you have to adjust. And if I sat here and tried to play the regular way and things didn't, work out, then shame on me, and like, that's the one thing I've been trying to tell you guys. And I think you guys understand that, we've been, I know from my standpoint, I'm going to try and keep working and keep doing things to, try to put my team in the best position to win games. So, that's what the analytics showed. So we moved it out. So really, I can tell you my thought process going into the game. I was the minus 45 in anything, fourth or, 5 or less. I was thinking I was going to go for it and be aggressive, depending upon, again, game situation. The difference between me is I look at analytics, understand analytics, but I also look at game situations as well. So I'm not straight 100% numbers.
And one quick follow-up. Did
Sure.
you feel that Garner meant you played well enough to keep that job, to keep the starting job for another week?
Yeah, I don't know. I know everyone's going to talk to me about, that's a question afterwards. And I know you guys, I just think right now, I really want to be in there to support these players and these coaches right now. And, I'm not ready to say this and that and all this other stuff and really comment on playing time. And that's not a knock on Gardner. That's not a knock on me not having a decision in my mind right now. My mind right now is totally focused. These guys, it's tough to see. I know we're pros. I know it's like that. But, when you see guys trying and they just, whatever it is that causes us not to get there or come with the win, you got guys running all over the place, trying, giving everything they have. And, here we are sitting, having lost all these games. I don't think about myself. I think about these coaches and players. That's what's weighing on me right now. Not, who's going to start or who's not going to start next week. So I apologize. I can't really. I'm not going to comment on that. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Gardner will be next. So if you know you have a question for Gardner, you can throw your hand up or text me.
Radio Network.
Today's horoscope brought to you by Geico.
People will take note of your sunny disposition, Sagittarius. That's because you just switched to Geico and discovered you could save hundreds of dollars a year on car insurance. However, your newfound inner glow may prompt unfounded rumors. Did you get a promotion? Or you want a juice cleanse? Did they give you too much anesthesia at your dentist appointment? Your secret is safe with us, Sagittarius.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Jaguars fans, be there for the final home game of the year as the Chicago Bears visit TIAA Bank Field December 27th. It's our annual fan appreciation game and our chance to say thank you for being Duval together all year long. Tickets are still available at Jaguars.com or by calling 904-633-2000.
Bring the noise to the bank to help close out the year with a bang.
Second touchdown of the game from James Robinson. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets today.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contact us to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
Hey Jaguars fans, Jack Hanania Jr. here from Jack Hanania Chevrolet Buick GMC. Right now you can shop over 1,200 used vehicles, including over 100 certified pre-owned vehicles and vehicles starting as low as $2,000. That's right, and I guarantee you, no haggle pricing, just our best price. If you're looking for a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, come see us in St. Augustine. Why buy from us? That's why.
Example 2007 Mazda CX-7 Sport. Stock number 701244232 plus tax, title, and fees. Vehicle subject prior to sale. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and pride of the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor joins us now over the phone line. Good afternoon, Fred.
Good afternoon, guys. How's it going, man?
Oh, we're hanging in there.
Yeah, I know,
Seen
right?
better
That's
football
about
days. Yeah, we've seen better days, Freddie. But, we're here.
Christmas
is coming.
Yeah, right. The Jets are winning.
The
So
Jets are up 7-0.
That's all positive right now.
Well,
But
we've seen that before.
I know.
It's true.
Fred, can I enjoy the next 60 seconds of my life from a football standpoint?
60. Let's just hope it gets better.
Hey, Gardner, can you hear me now?
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, we're going to start with D-Rock.
Gardner, how tough was it to get anything going offensively in that first half?
It was very hard. It felt like, everything we were doing, they had an answer for it. I thought they played really well, and we didn't execute consistently enough in the first half.
Was the plan to try and take advantage of the fact that they were banged up at corner?
Yeah, I think so.
Part of the plan, yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you're missing two players as good as the two that they were missing, you try to take advantage of that.
Thank you.
Thanks, D-Rock. Let's go over to Dustin.
Hey, Gardner. Early in that second half there, you guys were driving down the field, and there was a fumble down in the Ravens red zone. Did you guys feel like before that fumble, you guys were on your way to getting back in the game?
We were just trying to score on that drive. I think, Coach, we came into the halftime. We said we're not going to look at this holistically. We're going to forget the score. We're going to try to get little wins where we can. And, that's what we try to do in the second half.
All right. Thanks, Gardner.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Are there any other questions for Gardner? I don't see any hands, so if not, we're going to let him go. Oh, Gary Smets, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, Gardner, first of all, were there any kind of words exchanged at all between you and Unique during the game?
Very at the buzzer, man. It was, I was talking to Jan, during the game. He's so competitive, as am I. I really tried to tune him out because, he chirps a little bit, but I just know how that's how Jan is. But it was really good to be able to catch up with him after the game, a guy that I have a ton of respect for, one of the great competitors in our league, really good player.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks, Gary. Let's go to John Shipley.
Hey, Gardner. Coach Marrone said his message to you guys is kind of put this one behind you and let's try to win these next two games. Is that kind of hard to do after a game like this? I don't know. It's only like 30 minutes after the game, so it's still pretty fresh. But, no, we're definitely going to try to put it behind us. I think there's an opportunity to learn from it, as there is with every game. But, man, we got to move forward, find a sense of optimism and believe that we can go win these next two. Thanks, Gardner. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, John. Looks like that's the last question. So, Gardner, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
See standouts, Mike.
I'm trying to do the math here. I look, James Robinson in a point per reception league got you a little over 14 today. So, that was okay. That was serviceable. Really, the standouts all came from the Baltimore side of things. 243 on the ground or through the air for Lamar Jackson with 3 passing touchdowns. Ran for 1 as well with 35 rushing yards. So he was around 30 fantasy points today. J.K. Dobbins found the end zone on 14 carries for 64 yards. And Marquise Brown caught 6 for 98, one of his most productive games of the season. Mark Andrews grabbed 5 for 66 and a score. He's been one of the more consistent fantasy tight ends in a year where you can't find a lot of consistency at the position. So, unfortunately, most of the fantasy impact coming from the team that hung 40 today.
There you have it, the Geico Fantasy Standouts. We're back in a moment with highlights from this one. A lot of those are Ravens highlights as well. 40-14 the final, and this is Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank on Jaguars Radio.
At Jacksonville International Airport, the health and safety of travelers is their #1 priority. They're doing everything they can to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, from adhering to CDC cleaning guidelines, requiring facial coverings in the terminal, and encouraging social distancing at every point of the airport experience. For a comprehensive look at what the airport, airlines, and their shops, restaurants, and rental cars are doing to keep passengers safe, please visit jaxairportcares.com to learn more. Proven IT implements a strategic game plan designed to streamline your business for maximum results. Make the winning choice with the official business systems partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
Headquartered right here in Jacksonville, the CSI Companies is one of the fastest growing staffing firms in the nation. As a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI knows how important it is to find the right people for your team. See why some of Jacksonville's top companies choose CSI for their staffing needs. Visit thecsicompanies.com or call 800-582-0828 today. That's 800-582-0828 for the CSI Companies.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Jaguars fans, Brian Sexton here. I've discovered something that will take your tailgates to the next level this football season. Bernie Grills. You've never seen anything like these portable all-wood grills. Bernie's are convenient, affordable, and simple to use, with no messy cleanup. Bernie's real alder wood flavor makes burgers and brats taste delicious. I grilled some steaks on mine the other night, and they were incredible. So get your Bernie Grill for the next game at BernieGrill.com or at Amazon. Bernie Grill. Light. Grill. Done.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. Final score 40-14. Ravens over the Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Let's get to the highlights from this one. Frank Franzi with the call. Jaguars defense gets a takeaway on the opening drive. Josh Jones, an interception.
Play fake by Jackson. Looking. Fires deep downfield toward the end zone, and that ball is going to be intercepted. Josh Jones has picked it off for the Jaguars. He's up and running it back to the 10-yard line, to the 15, to the 20, along the far sideline. He's knocked out of bounds. A terrific play by Josh Jones to pick it off. Now, there is a flag on the play. Let's check the flag. But a terrific play by Josh Jones to pick it off.
Yeah, the flag was during the return, brought back half the distance to the 1-yard line after a running play of 2 yards. Well, Gardner Minshew is sacked for a safety.
Play fake. Gardner drops the throw out of the end zone. Pump fake. He's going to get hit. He's going to get sacked in the end zone. That is going to be a safety. Gardner Minshew got sacked in the end zone. That is going to wind up being a safety. Matthew Judon got him, and the Ravens go ahead 2-0.
2-0 at that point. The ensuing drive for Baltimore, 7 plays, 68 yards, just over 4 minutes, and Jackson hits Boykin for a touchdown.
Jackson looking, all kind of time. Throws it to the corner of the end zone. That's going to be caught for the touchdown in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. That's
Miles Boykin.
Miles Boykin makes the catch for the Baltimore Ravens.
9-0 at that point. Jaguars in their ensuing possession ended up trying to go for it on 4th and 5 at the Baltimore 47-yard line. They turned it over on downs. 6 plays later, Dobbins in from 2 yards for the Ravens.
Now Dobbins motions back to the line of scrimmage. They hand it to J.K. Dobbins. He's going to walk into the end zone. A 2-yard touchdown run by J.K. Dobbins, and the Ravens have extended the lead.
16-0 at that point. Tucker hit a field goal of 46 yards later. 19-0 Baltimore. Jaguars, similar situation as earlier, had a 4th and 5 at the Baltimore 43-yard line and went for it. Threw incomplete and turned it over on downs. 8 plays after that. Jackson to Des Bryant, his first score in about 3 years.
Jackson drops to throw. Lots of time. Looking. Still looking. Now he scrambles out to his left. Still looks downfield. Now fires toward the end zone, and that ball is going to be caught for the touchdown in the corner of the end zone. Lamar Jackson strikes again. Touchdown in the corner of the end zone to Dez Bryant, and they've extended the lead.
11-yard score, 26-0. Tucker missed a 57-yard field goal as time expired at the end of the first half. 26-0, the halftime score. Jaguars got the ball, though, to start the second half. Went down the field. They converted on a 4th and 4 to Baltimore 37 to keep it going. Minshew later hit Robinson for a touchdown.
Just get it off at the blitz. Dropping. Fires along the right side. Once James Robinson. James made the catch along the right sideline. Touchdown! Minshew to James Robinson for the score.
17-yarder, and the Jags on the board 26-7 at that point. Ensuing drive for the Ravens. 10 plays, 75 yards, 4.5 minutes, and Lamar Jackson with his legs from 5 yards.
Play fake, he's going to run it. Runs to the left side and walks into the end zone. A 5-yard touchdown run by Lamar Jackson for the Ravens has extended the lead.
33-7 Ravens. Jaguars back on offense. We heard all week about Yannick Ngakoue on the other side. He gets home for a forced fumble.
Dropping to throw. Minshew looks, steps up, tries to scramble. The ball is out. The ball was knocked out. It is fumbled, and the Ravens have recovered. He fumbled the ball in the red zone. The Ravens recover the fumble. Derek Wolfe recovers it, and Ngakoue knocked it out.
And it set up a fairly long field for the Ravens, but they marched down. 10 plays, 86 yards, nearly 6 minutes of game time. Jackson to Andrews from 3 yards.
Dropping is Jackson. Looking, fires toward the end zone. That ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Mark Andrews, the tight end, and Baltimore has scored again.
40-7 at that point. Jaguars get a late touchdown, though. Minshew to Conley from 13 yards in the final minute.
Dropping to throw. It's a blitz. Looking, fires toward the end zone again. That ball is caught in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Chris Conley with the score.
40-14. That's how it sounded today. We're back in a moment with the TIAA Bank stats check. Final score: Ravens 40, Jaguars 14. More with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor coming up. This is Jaguars Postgame, presented by TIAA Bank on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The wait for the holidays is over, America. It's time to make some joy. And we're here to help with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. We're offering the best deals of the season across the Ford lineup, so you can road trip with the whole family comfortably in a Ford Expedition. Bring home a tree that's bigger than you ever have with a built Ford Tough F-150. And find new ways to make the holidays bright this year when you visit your local Ford dealer. The joy is up to you, America, so let's get to it. Ford, built for the holidays.
Jaguars fans, game day is back, and while it might look a little different this year, the good times, smooth drinks, and tailgate excitement will never change when you're cheering on the Jags with Jameson. So pull up a seat, pour a smooth Jameson, ginger, and lime, and enjoy game day with Jameson. Taste responsibly. Jameson Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof, product of Ireland, copyright 2020, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. Final score, all Ravens 40-14 over the Jaguars. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor. After the Jaguars dropped their 13th consecutive game, time now for a TIAA Bank stats check in this one. And as you would imagine, it is all Baltimore. Total yardage 409 to 267 in favor of the Ravens. Baltimore had 26 first downs to the Jaguars 17. Jags were 5 of 12 on third down. Baltimore 8 of 12. Rushing net, 159 on the ground for the Ravens, 62 for the Jags. Through the air, passing net, Ravens 250 yards, Jaguars 205 yards. Penalties, Jaguars had 7 for 67 penalty yards. Baltimore 4 for 40 yards, all of those in the second half. 1 turnover for each side. Time of possession in favor of Baltimore, but not by much. 31 minutes, 48 seconds they held the ball today. Well, the Ravens' run game was there, but it wasn't a big monster, huge day as a team for them on the ground. Lamar Jackson did not have a huge day running the ball, at least.
No, he had a huge day putting the ball in the end zone, though, right? He had 3 touchdowns passing, and he ran for another one. That went with 243 passing yards, 133 quarterback rating, and on the ground he had 35 yards. So he's very productive, but you're right, JP. He didn't have that game where you're like, wow, he just put up those crazy kind of pinball game numbers, video game numbers, whatever. But J.K. Dobbins for the Ravens, 14 for 64 with a touchdown on the ground as well, and Gus Edwards, 9 for 42. Jaguars, Gardner Minshew, 226 through the air, a couple of scores. He was sacked 5 times, however. He also ran for 9 yards. James Robinson provided 35 on the ground. Through the air, he also caught 3 passes for 18, including a touchdown that got the Jaguars on the board. DJ Chark led the way with 53 receiving yards. Tyler Eifert right behind him with 51. For the Ravens, it was Marquise Brown, 6 for 98, and Mark Andrews caught 5 for 66, including a touchdown. Defensively, Joe Schobert led the way with 12 total tackles, but Jared Wilson with 10 solo efforts on the day, and Dwan Smoot, the lone sack for the Jaguars, which was just kind of an emblematic play as they force a fumble from Lamar Jackson on third down, should be the end of the drive, and an offensive lineman picks it up and rumbles for the first down on that play. So.
This kind of summed it up today, Fred. It was one of those where, Lamar today was more of the decoy a lot of times, and those other guys would get the rushing yardage, and they really could do no wrong today on offense, even with that.
Right. And that's the luxury the Ravens get to enjoy. You're going to concoct, certain defenses, and you're going to watch Lamar Jackson. And as I think they ran a little toss, not a toss, but a quick snap handoff to Dobbins there, and it seemed like everybody froze at the snap. While they're watching to see how and react to Lamar, boom, he's off in the end zone for the touchdown. But more importantly, I think just their red zone efficiency. Today they was 5 for 5. They were third down. That was very impressive. 8 for 12. For 67%. So the Ravens can do a lot with Lamar, and it's just a tough guard, man, no matter how you try and draw it up.
Yeah, no question about it, Fred. When you look now going down the stretch, I asked Jeff Logman a similar question here. What are you doing to kind of make this a rallying point for the Jags so they give the best effort they can against Chicago? I know the season is a wash at this point in time, but if you're Doug Marrone, what kind of strings are you trying to pull right now?
I mean, really, if the head coach has to, Mike, man, I was a different type of player, and I just like to speak from my experience a lot of times. But I think as a head coach, you shouldn't have to ever kick the guys in the rear to get them motivated to play. I always wanted to get out there and compete. Really, I think if a simple message such as "Let's finish strong, let's go and compete," put your best on tape. I think that's the most I would say if I'm the head coach right now. We're all fighting for a job. We're all fighting for another opportunity. We're all going to get out here and compete together. We're going to put our best foot forward, put it on tape, and let's see what happens with the rest as we close out this season.
We've got a scoring update from Los Angeles. The New York Jets blocked a Rams punt, set up a short field, and a touchdown pass was dropped. It was right in his hands in the end zone on third down. Yikes. So a field goal for the Jets. Now the Jets lead the Rams 10-0, 12:44 until halftime.
Yes, so we're 42 minutes and 44 seconds away from controlling the draft.
From Christmas.
From Christmas. A very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, let's come back. That was the TIAA
That's what we've
Bank
been reduced to, Fred.
Stats check. We're back in a moment with plenty more, including the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game. This should be interesting. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank on Jaguars Radio.
Jaguars fans, be there for the final home game of the year as the Chicago Bears visit TIAA Bank Field December 27th. It's our annual fan appreciation game and our chance to say thank you for being Duval together all year long. Tickets are still available at Jaguars.com or by calling 904-633-2000. Bring the noise to the bank to help close out the year with a bang.
Second touchdown of the game from James Robinson.
Visit Jaguars.com/tickets today.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Mas Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars Game Day is presented by ViStar Credit Union. If you believe free checking is better, join ViStar. That's checking with no fees and no minimums. No kidding. At ViStar, they never forget that it's your money. And welcome back to Jaguars Postgame, presented by TIAA Bank. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Time now for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote, Mike gets a vote, Fred gets a vote and a half to break any ties. And this one is tough today. But I'm going to start. I'm going to go with Jared Wilson. 10 solo tackles in this game today. I know when your safety's making 10 tackles down the field, that's not ideal. But 10 solo tackles, it's slim pickings today. Mike?
I debated Aldrick Rosas for the excellent job getting rid of the punt after he dropped the snap, but I will not go that direction. I'm going to – boy, no one – I'm going to go with James Robinson because he scored a touchdown, and he's just been that guy all year. But, I mean, he averaged 2.2 yards a carry. It's hard to say anybody was really a standout, but he did get the Jaguars on the board with a nice route and a nice touchdown. I mean, you look at the numbers, Gardner had a decent game. Ratings-wise, he was fantastic. But if you watch the game, it didn't look like that. Fred, we leave it in your hands, sir.
You just left it in my hands, sir. And unfortunately, you just said my guy, didn't quite pass the eye test, but I'm just looking at his numbers. Those 2 touchdowns, you can't deny that. Had pressure on him all day, and former teammate, Unique, he was a man on a mission today. He beat Cam and he beat Jawan, and he just played his butt off. But, yeah, he was under pressure from the second play of the game with the safety, and somehow he still managed to only have 7 miscues. Still threw 2 touchdowns out there, 120 QBR. That's my vote for player of the game.
All right, and by virtue of voting, he gets the vote and a half. Gardner Minshew is the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game. 22 of 29 passing, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. Minshew also carried the ball twice for 9 yards. We're back with the injury report presented by Baptist Health. All Ravens all day. Ravens 40. Jaguars 14, and this is Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank on Jaguars Radio.
The best way to feel love is to share it. At Hanania Subaru of Orange Park, we always go the extra mile with bigger selection, more savings, our best service. Only Subaru of Orange Park gives you a nationwide lifetime warranty and 1 year complimentary maintenance on new and used vehicles. Plus, when you get a new Subaru during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charities. At Hanania Subaru of Orange Park. Online at SubaruofOrangePark.com. See dealer website for full details.
Jaguars fans, let's tackle social injustice together on game days with Selfies for Change. Visit TIAABank.com/selfies for change to take a virtual selfie with a Jaguars player and unlock a $5 donation to the Jaguars Foundation to help fight social injustice. Share your photo on Instagram or Twitter using hashtag Selfies for Change so more fans can be part of the movement. Join us on game days at TIAABank.com/selfies for change. TIAA Bank is the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
In Florida, bicyclists have the same rights and responsibilities as everyone else on the road. So when you ride, follow the rules. Always wear a helmet and use lights on your bike. And drivers, watch for cyclists. Give them space to ride. And don't forget, when making that right on red, look to your right first to see if a cyclist is approaching in the bike lane. We all have a responsibility to keep ourselves and each other safe. Alert today, alive tomorrow. Because safety doesn't happen by accident. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports watching drink of all time, Pepsi. With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet, but thanks to Pepsi, even Mike can't ruin my football party.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Cue the update music. We have an update from Los Angeles. The Jets defense gets another takeaway, and now it is 1st and goal for the Jets inside the 10-yard line, and they're up 10-0 and could go up by 3 scores if they punch it in here.
Yes, JP, but not until they had already done, as you described it, a very Jets-like thing, had stopped the Rams. The Rams were it was 4th and 1 at their own 29-yard line, so the Jets line up and jump off sides, give them an automatic first down.
Why not?
First play, though, Goff threw a pick.
But it worked out.
It did work out well.
We'll see what happens here. We'll keep you posted. It's 2nd and goal from about the 3-yard line for the Jets now. We'll see if they can punch it in here. So now time for the injury report presented by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. A couple of notables today. Colin Johnson in the first quarter had a hamstring issue. The rookie out of Texas, the wide receiver. And then rookie running back James Robinson in the fourth quarter, an ankle issue. And, Fred, you mentioned that one earlier. That one was scary looking on television, I'll say that. He did walk off under his own power, which was a good sign at least to start.
Yeah, just looking at it from home, when it rolls inward that way, usually that's a sign of a high ankle, which is more severe than it, rolling outward. I hope I use the proper term. I know it's not the proper term, but if you can paint the picture,
right,
you know what I mean.
I get you.
But hopefully, if the worst case, I'm hoping it was just a minor tweak if such, so he can get back out there and give that record a shot.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a little work to do still to get
A little bit more,
your...
but he can. Minnesota, not Minnesota, Chicago. They played tough today. They played Minnesota tough, but still, they're a team who can. He has an opportunity. I think he still has an opportunity.
2 weeks to get it done, and we'll see how that ankle is moving forward here. That's a look at the injury report presented by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. The Jets had to settle for a field goal. The Jets now lead the Rams 13-0, 7:37 to play in the second quarter, and we will continue to keep you posted on that one. We're back in a moment to preview next week, the Jags and the Bears from TIAA Bank Field. This is Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk. Checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk. Checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Jaguars fans, whether it's on the field or in your finances, the key to success is a solid plan. From high-yield banking to home lending, into retirement and beyond, TIAA Bank offers solutions that can help you achieve your goals and make the most of your money. It's time for a plan. Start building your legacy today at TIAABank.com/Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Jaguars fall 13 straight losses now for the Jags. It ties the franchise record for consecutive losses. And that record goes from 2012 into 13, the final 5 losses of the 2012 season, first 8 of 2013. That is unfortunate, of course. It is already the single-season franchise losing skid. They'll try to snap it next week against the Chicago Bears, who got a win today over Minnesota. 33-27, the final score. Trubisky, 202, a touchdown, a pick, but Montgomery on the ground had 2 rushing scores today, Fred. 32 carries, 146 yards for the Chicago Bears in the winning result today. They're now 7-7.
Right, just under 200 yards rushing, 199 to be exact, averaging 4.7 for the Bears. So here you have another team, man, for maybe the fourth or fifth week in a row with the ability. They want to run the ball first. They have the ability to rush for over 200 yards a game, just about. And here you have another test for the Jaguars defense. Got to go in there. You know, they know what these teams are coming to do, especially this late in the season. You've been banged up. You've had guys in and out of lineup. Chicago wants to run the ball. They were very effective today versus Minnesota in running the ball. And I'm sure they saw how Minnesota ran the ball on us, how Tennessee ran the ball. They saw what the Ravens did today. They're going to come here to do the same thing. And I can guarantee you, Allen Robinson, he's going to enjoy being back in Jacksonville with the opportunity to play against the banged-up secondary.
You would imagine so, Fred. And, offensively for the Jaguars, if they can get James Robinson healthy over the course of the week, I think there's an opportunity there. The Bears' defense much better in reputation than it is in actual result over the last month plus. I think you can put some points up on this football team next week.
Yeah, I totally agree. I definitely agree with you on that. But, again, you have to have your workhorse out there. He's going to get the offense rolling. That's where everything starts. Unfortunately, they didn't have it out there today, but next week holds a new opportunity. And I can tell you this, if they need to have someone, whether it be the tight ends, the running back, that's going to have to go out there and slow down the Jaguars, the Bears pass rush, because Khalil Mack is still Khalil Mack, no matter what, however you chop it up. He's a guy who's going to come here and try to wreak havoc.
All right, so the Bears are currently, as they sit today, the number 8 team in the NFC, so they're just out of the playoff picture for the moment, but it is a real thin margin there, so the Bears need the game the rest of the teams down the stretch need the game against the Jags. Of course, the Bears next week and the Colts in 2 weeks as well. So that'll do it for Jaguars postgame. Fred, we will talk to you early in the week ahead of Christmas. Have some nice preparations. I'm sure you have some plans leading up to the holiday.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a global pandemic, man. I just wanted to make sure these kids, that they're able to enjoy themselves, whether we be here at our house, or I don't know. I mean, I haven't even thought about it a whole lot, JP, to be honest with you. I'm just hoping everybody is safe, in the midst of it all.
Appreciate it, Fred. Have a great week.
Merry Christmas,
all right,
Fred.
guys. Be well.
Fred Taylor, pride of the Jaguars, running back with us. For those on our flagship station, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks joins us, and we'll take your calls at 355-NFL-1. Senior VP of Communications is Dan Edwards. VP of Production is Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive Producer Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio Joe Fortunato. Tony Smith and Linda Fortunato are our producers, and Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, and Max Hockman produce our shows on Jaguars.com. For Jeff Lageman, Fred Taylor, and Mike Dempsey, this is JP Shadrick saying good night. Final score, Ravens 40, Jaguars 14 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
This is the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, Geico, and by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Welcome into the Scoreboard Show. Final score, Ravens 40, Jaguars 14. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, NFL Network analyst, will join us tonight. The phone lines are open, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. We'll get to your calls coming up. It was all Ravens all day, 40-14. We've got plenty of time to break down the Jags game, but another, hit the music for the update. So 6 minutes, 4 seconds to play second quarter in Los Angeles. The Jets lead 13-0 over the Rams, and another 3-and-out for the Jets defense. That's out of 5 possessions today for the Rams, 3 3-and-outs, a blocked punt, and an interception. So how about that day for the Jets defense?
That's pretty good. They're fired. They're obviously fired up, and it looks like the Rams are flat as can be. I'm sure they thought the Jets were going to come limping in. They got blasted last week by Seattle. After their near miss a couple of weeks ago against the Raiders. So for the moment, JP, Jaguar fans have a lot to sit on the edge of their seat and contemplate as this game now just getting under 6 minutes remaining in the first half with the Jets looking to build on a 13-0 lead.
So the Ravens had the lead early. They never let it go, of course. Bucky Brooks is with us now from Los Angeles, California. Good afternoon to you, Bucky.
Happy holiday.
Happy.
What's up?
It's just a big smile after a 40-14 loss, but the Jets are winning. So
yeah, look, we can't worry about that part of it, but I'm thinking maybe we get a Christmas gift. We might be getting a Christmas gift.
Come on, Bucky. You're in L.A., And I don't know if the Rams do the deal where everybody goes to the hotel the night before, but if they did and you did not call, random rooms all night long, then you were not doing your job on our behalf, buddy.
Look, 13-0, they've blown some opportunities to really stretch it out. I am just hoping, coming off of what we saw Saturday, where we got a chance to see a quarterback for Clemson, I'm just saying it wouldn't be bad to maybe get that under the tree, given what we've had to endure in 2020.
Wouldn't be bad. The understatement of the 2020 season. And
beats the hell out of that stocking full of coal. I'll say that. Brutal. Got to have something positive go, because obviously in the game today, nothing went right. James Robinson couldn't run the ball. He came out injured at the end. The defense didn't play well. The offense didn't perform. They didn't have a punter. It was just a bad day all around.
Yeah, bad day at the office for the Jaguars for sure. And I think what we got a chance to watch, and we've seen this, when you see the Jaguars stack up against a team that is not only a playoff contender, but a team that was hailed as a Super Bowl contender, you see the stark contrast in talent. And so I think this was a great reminder for us when we get excited at times. Yeah, we have a long way to go. And, it's one of those things where in the past we've hung our hat on, hey, we play hard or whatever. But this is a talent business, and you can see the more talented team and how easy it was for the Baltimore Ravens. And I would say the Ravens didn't necessarily have their A game. And so I just think it speaks volumes about the amount of work that has to be done. And so we can look ahead to these two games. Hopefully we see some prime performances, but then the offseason has to be about figuring out who the general manager is going to be, figuring out what we're going to do with the coaching staff, and then adding pieces to the puzzle to get this team back up and going in 2021.
No question. And really today, the defensive performance is not that surprising to me. We've got a lot of injuries on that side of the ball. It's disappointing to me, Bucky, that, yes, Brandon Linder's out, right? But you had Norwell return today. You had your full complement of receivers. Minshew under center. The two starting corners for the Ravens don't play. Calais Campbell is out. And until the game was already basically decided, they couldn't get anything going offensively.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a damning indictment on the offense that they couldn't move the ball against a team that really had a bunch of backups in there. And we have seen this team, when they were shorthanded, play well against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But even with that, you like to think, hey, we have starters. We have guys that are NFL quality starters. They should be able to compete and maybe take advantage of some of the deficiencies that may exist with some of the backups on the field. And we didn't see any of that. And much like we've seen throughout the year with Gardner Minshew, like, he is great when what I call all the pressure is off. But when it's even Steven and the game is kind of very competitive and those things are going, we can't get it. And it's not all his fault, but you just saw that the offense, man, just could not move the ball at all against a team that likes to bring pressure and likes to bring pressure from all angles.
All right, phone lines are open, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351, and plenty of time to get to your calls after this Jaguars loss. 40-14, Ravens are now 9-5. The Jaguars are now 1-13. The Jets lead the Rams 13-0 late in the first half. We'll keep you posted on that one. And this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
Need the perfect gift for the NFL fan in your life? Go to NFLshop.com and get their favorite player's jersey, personalized gifts, or next favorite hat. With daily holiday deals and the ultimate gift guide, NFLshop.com has you covered. Shop now for the most up-to-date assortment for all 32 teams, including face coverings. You'll choose from the largest selection of NFL gifts anywhere. NFL Shop is the destination for their favorite team's gear. Head to NFLshop.com today to start checking off your gift list.
The best thing about working at Fair & Farah is all of the employees. We all work together. It's extremely enjoyable to come to work every day.
There's a common cause or goal. No matter what your job is, we're all there for the client.
We are dedicated to our clients 100%. We do everything it takes to maximize the value of their claims.
Fair & Farah is really the Farah family. When they choose us, they choose a family to fight for them and to protect them and to make sure that they're in a good place and that they have somebody on their side.
Farah & Farah, here for you, here for good. Jacksonville.
Proven IT implements a strategic game plan designed to streamline your business for maximum results. Make the winning choice with the official business systems partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Final score, Ravens 40, Jaguars 14. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, the Scoreboard Show. Your calls coming up, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. An update from Los Angeles. The Jets lead the Rams 13-0, 2:09 to play in the second quarter. Rams had the ball 2nd and 10 at the Jets' 45-yard line.
The Jets had them stopped again on 3rd down. 15-yard face mask.
Ooh.
Automatic first down. I mean, just
very Jetsy.
Very Jetsy. I mean, look, I know we're just setting ourselves up for gut-wrenching failure down the stretch. But.
Mike, you're getting upset. Like, you have to know when we're doing these things and we're pulling for another team, it's going to come down to a buzzer beater. Like, the Jets would have to knock one through the uprights with 3 seconds left, and to the demise of Jets fans everywhere, they'll give up the number one for the one win. So,
but Bucky, the thing is, I haven't had a full game that I could enjoy and be into since week 2. You know, like I thought, all right, we went toe-to-toe with the Titans. We're going to have a lot of these. And so this one's got me on the edge of my seat. Let's just put it that way.
Well, they got off it's 4th down now. So 4th and 10 at the 45, inside 2 minutes now, and 2-minute warning now. At the
4-down territory, JP. I don't trust the Jets. They've got a penalty up their sleeve that we're not aware of yet, so it's coming.
We'll keep you posted on that the rest of the hour here. How about the phone lines?
Yes, how about them?
Yeah.
800-355-NFL-1 is the number. 355-6351 is what will get you on board. So
that's correct.
Let's welcome in our buddy Sakib to start things off here. Sakib, you're on the post game. Go ahead, bud.
It's a good day to have a first overall pick, but the Jets are playing, so you know what happened against Oakland.
But did you hear? But Sakib, we heard the joy in your voice for the first time all year.
I didn't even recognize you.
Mike, you know me for how many, like 20 years now?
No,
I'm up
18,
and down.
Maybe, yeah.
You know?
I know. Like me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
We're
up and
emotional.
down. You're a Jets fan, so you
I was.
You used to be a Jet. Yeah, so you know how it is. I mean, my thing is, just please, I'm begging the Jets organization, please don't lose this game. I'm begging and pleading with you. And Sam Darnold is going to be the greatest quarterback in Jaguars history if he wins this game. Okay?
He'll be
I'm
up
going to
there.
give him a medal.
Mount Rushmore for sure. Buck.
I hope they win, and that's all I called. And go Jets, 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 Jets. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
There's an extra Jets, but that's okay. We'll take it.
All kidding aside, Bucky, I mean, this fan base is so beat down through no fault of their own. right? I mean, they've supported a team that hasn't provided them much over the last 12 years, really, one good season. So, I mean, to have the opportunity for renewal like you could have, I mean, just I don't want to put us in that position yet because they're not there and they may not ever get there over the next few weeks. But if they were, I mean, you could hear even Sakib, who we got to coax along off the ledge every week, man. He's out there, he's singing, and it's only the second quarter, Buck.
Okay, Demps, just so you know, this is not my normal MO. I'm not an advocate for losing games or whatever, but we've come this far that if we are gifted an opportunity to get the number one overall, I think there has to be a message that comes down from the heavens that says there's no way that we can win these last two games. And that goes against everything that I believe in, but there's no way we can give up the number one pick if we secure it somehow, if the Jets gift it to us for a Christmas present. There's no way that we can give that back.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating, but I mean, how it would turn the fan base's attitude, the level of excitement that would generate for this franchise would be, I mean, certainly.
It already is, and it's only not even halftime in L.A. yet.
Right. I mean,
and there's 2 weeks to go.
Just the prospect of it is fun right
now.
Because,
that's what would happen, right? The Jets would win today, and then something would happen where, the Jags would win or something would happen.
Not if I own
just
the team,
history
Bucky.
around.
Hey, JP, I understand what you're saying, but then this is when, at the top, if it's your team, this is when you step in and you say, I don't care who we're starting, Jake Luton, somebody else, but we're not going to fork this over. Like, because if it comes down where you have the opportunity, you have to do what's in the best interest of the franchise long term.
Right.
And I'm not saying that tanking is a thing.
Yeah,
but it should be a thing.
Here's a question. This is a serious question. It's a serious question on this topic. If it came down to that, would the commissioner get involved and be like, "You guys can't do this. You're not getting the pick."
What could he? Why not?
I mean,
you play who you want to play.
You play who you want to play, and if you're
like integrity of the game issue,
you can step in there. I don't know is there a practice squad quarterback? We want to get a look at him.
Got to get a look. Need a look.
We want to see whoever. We want to see whoever. Like, this is an opportunity that can get it, because I would say this: our luck would be, okay, we get the number one, and then we turn right back around and we give it away. Like, that would be the thing that would frustrate you, like against Chicago or at the end of the season, to do that. And I know I shouldn't be talking like that, but if it comes that way, if you think about rebuilding the team, man, if the quickest way to get back to relevance is with a franchise quarterback. And if you have your pick of the litter, then that ensures that maybe if you pick the right guy, you bounce back quickly.
Yeah, you're only expressing what 97% of the fan base is already thinking. You know what I mean? So when you say you shouldn't think like that, everyone's thinking like that right now. Unfortunately, look, nobody wanted to have a 13-game losing streak. We'd rather be 13-1 than the other way around, but that's not the reality of how they got here. And I don't think they've been trying to lose games. I think they've been trying to be as competitive as possible, and they have not been in the position with 2 weeks to go to potentially control the entire draft with all the draft. It's not just the first round, Buck. You get the first pick of day 2, and you get that chance to have everybody come to you for that guy that fell. Either you get him to start the second round, or everybody comes to you with a bonanza of picks to move up. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, I shouldn't even start thinking about this.
Dempsey, I'm with you because I'm excited about that part of it, right? Because it's not only the number one overall, it's also the opportunity to control the draft in so many different areas. When you think about the multiple picks that the Jaguars already have, well, now being able to pawn off some of those other picks, not necessarily for picks this year, but in future years, to set yourself up to really rebuild it and rebuild it the right way. Yeah, I can certainly see where the excitement would come from. I can't even contain it right now, and here we are.
I know. Me either, man. That's
I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, just imagine if this does come to fruition. If you do have the opportunity to control the draft from beginning to end, imagine what you could do, and the possibility of being able to be major players in free agency.
And not only that, to be a major player for any general manager candidate. Right now,
no doubt.
if the Chargers job opens up why wouldn't you want that job out of all of them? Because you got Justin Herbert and some really talented guys. But now if you say, well, here you go, you have your choice of all of them, and we know what that choice will be, that closes that gap. And, I mean, if you're competing with another team for, a general manager candidate, it makes this job that much more attractive.
Oh, it shifts everything. It shifts the conversation. It shifts the narrative, the national narrative and conversation about the Jaguars. It now becomes the destination because not only are you talking about a team with the number 1 overall pick and a ton of picks, you're talking about a team with a tremendous amount of cap space, but you're just talking about opportunities abound to really rebuild this in the image that you see fit in terms of your vision of football. It's one thing to be a team that's picking down the line, but to get the number 1 overall, yeah, I mean, that's a team builder's dream.
You want to get one more?
Let's get another one.
We got Ken on the west side next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Ken, you're on with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, please.
Hey, how you doing, Mike and Bucky? First of all, Bucky, I think you need to be the general manager. I like you. I like the way you think and talk. You need to put in for the job. We need to get you. Mike, this is what I want to ask you. You and JP, aside from the quarterback, what would you think the greatest need for the Jaguars is at that second pick? I mean, second first-round pick.
I would, depending on what you're doing with Cam Robinson, left tackle.
Left tackle, if you
Protect
don't
your
resign
guy.
Cam, that's your number 1 need, I think.
And then a tight end.
I'd say pass rusher for me. I want another premier because I don't know if K'Lavon Chaison's future is as that guy who lines up across from Josh Allen. So, I think you'll find a tight end somewhere along the way because I don't think Kyle Pitts will be around for your second pick. I don't think there'll be another tight end likely worth that value. It's not a great year, Bucky, as you well know. You know better than we do in terms of pass rushers. But to just talk about needs, I think JP's right. If Cam Robinson doesn't re-sign, that opens up a huge hole here. But I do think this team needs more pass rush.
I think if you come in, the general manager coming in, I think you have to ignore whatever is currently on the roster, and I think you have to build this in ideal terms. So if you think about the way that you build a team, it's always quarterback, offensive tackle, left tackle, pass rusher, and cornerback. And as you assess it, even with Cam Robinson, hey, man, is Cam Robinson, maybe we draft somebody, maybe we kick him to right tackle or whatever. Like, there are things that you can do. This class is loaded with quarterbacks and offensive tackles. And I wouldn't bypass an opportunity to get a premier offensive tackle, which there are some in this class, to do it. And so I think then it comes down to what do you really feel about Cam Robinson compared to what his asking price is going to be. And if you don't feel great about it, you go get a guy that can plug and play at tackle. And then you continue to build this team with the ideal thing in mind. How can I build the ideal team that can compete? And that is quarterback, offensive tackle, 3 playmakers on offense, 3 defensive playmakers, and 2 pass rushers. You do that, that gives you an opportunity to get back in the mix.
All right, let's come back. More of your calls ahead. 355-NFL1, the number, 355-6351. And we give you another update on the Jets game. 11 seconds until halftime. The Rams have the ball at the Jets' 27-yard line. Jets lead 13-0 at the moment, but the Rams could get some points before the break. We'll keep you posted. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Oi.
Bonjour.
Xin chào.
Добрый день.
كيف فينا نساعدكم? ¿Cómo te podemos ayudar?
If you have an accident, the last thing you should have to worry about is a language barrier. That's why at Farah & Farah, we have a team as diverse as our clients. So no matter what language you speak, we'll fight for your voice. Farah & Farah, here for you.
نحن هون للكل. Ici pour vous.
Aquí para todos.
Here for all. Jacksonville.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
Jaguars fans, let's tackle social injustice together on game days with Selfies for Change. Visit TIAABank.com/selfies for change to take a virtual selfie with a Jaguars player and unlock a $5 donation to the Jaguars Foundation to help fight social injustice. Share your photo on Instagram or Twitter using hashtag Selfies for Change so more fans can be part of the movement. Join us on game days at TIAABank.com/selfies for change. TIAA Bank is the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hi, this is Dr. Patrick Basil of Basil Plastic Surgery and Wellness. I'm a proud veteran of the U.S. Navy, and during my active duty time, I had the amazing privilege to serve our country and those who were wounded in combat. Helping my patients return to a normal life, I was able to provide an unparalleled level of care, which I've carried over to my own private practice today. As the official plastic surgeon of the Jaguars, I invite you to visit us at patrickbasilmd.com and would like to wish the Jags best of luck in today's game.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about commercial fence services, from automatic gates to security fence and railing. Superior Fence and Rail's professional team delivers with great communication, trained installers, and quality products. Trust your next commercial project with the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. Get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your commercial project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. The Scoreboard Show continues after a Jaguars loss to the Ravens. Ravens 40, Jaguars 14. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks. And we have a breaking scoring update from Los Angeles. Hit the music, please. No? No more music? The Rams are on the board with a field goal at the gun at halftime. 13-3 is the score. Jets lead at the break over the 9-4 Los Angeles Rams.
I got a pop-up on my screen here, right? I have the ESPN window open, and I don't know what – this popped up, and it said, as of about 5 minutes ago, the Jaguars are now the favorite to earn the number one overall pick. So that factors in not just the fact that the Jets are in the lead at the moment, the likelihood of them holding that lead and all those other factors. So, you can't go by that, but – there you go. That's what we're celebrating this
analytics,
season.
Man. Analytics.
13-3. Jets.
They
get the ball first to start the second.
Oh, here we go. They're going to have a big, long drive. About
28-minute drive, Bucky.
Yeah,
28-minute drive. Chew it up, baby.
Grind
it out.
Eat it up.
3 yards at a time. 3 yards, 3 yards. We go for a fourth down every time. We'll convert. I love it.
Love that.
355 NFL 1. Papa Louie checking in as he typically does on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Papa Louie. How are you?
Guys, I'm doing great. Thanks for taking my call. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to y'all.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Okay. I want to talk. I'm not going to talk about the team today. I'm going to talk about the franchise. The one thing about this pandemic this year is I was able to get my season tickets refunded back to me, because if I was paying for this crap, I would really be upset. I have a little extra money for Christmas. So I'm happy with that part. The other part is, though, Lache. I don't hear you guys talk enough about it. I don't really see anything from, Jeff and Tony. I just read all these editorials in the paper about how we need to nix this idea, nix it. We have an opportunity with one of the richest men in the world that's going to put millions and millions of dollars into this town, and for people to be a backlash over taxpayer money, which we give to almost every other project. I just don't understand it. I wish that maybe Jeff or Tony would write a editorial page, or one of you guys, or go to the city council and let these councilmen know that if we lose this team, we're back to where we were 30 years ago. And we're not an international city, which we are now. We are recognized. I mean, there's only 32 of us in the whole world, and for this just to go away, it would just be unbelievable. I'll take my comments off the air.
Well, I appreciate the call, and I'll say this: the city council will have a vote, I believe, the second week of January, and that's going to be for the city's portion of this. The rest of it is the Jaguars and Shad Khan. So, it would be huge. It would be a transformational project for downtown Jacksonville, and that's the Jaguars' view of it. And that is, I don't think there's anything that would be bad about it in that regard, because it jumpstarts a lot of other things downtown as well. Once you get that one thing going around the stadium here, then you can work on the stadium. That's the next project. And it all kind of starts moving down the river towards downtown. So, yes, that's the next step, is the city council vote. I think it's like the 13th or 14th of January.
And, look, this is a game day broadcast where we focus on the on-the-field stuff more than anything, But I will say this. I'm obviously in favor of whatever helps cement the Jaguars' legacy here in Jacksonville for as long as possible. I do feel like – and so am I in favor of Lache? If that's what ultimately – helps to keep them here, then I'm in favor of anything that ultimately helps keep them here within reason. Mm-hmm. I do feel, though, I'm a guy who lives in St. Johns County, and I don't take to the stump very often to tell you how to spend your Duval County tax dollars. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I pretty clearly I support the Jaguars staying in Jacksonville. As to how you should vote for your tax dollars to be spent, that seems like a Duval County issue. But, I mean, put it this way. If I had a vote, I'd absolutely vote in favor of it. I don't have a vote, and I feel a little weird kind of telling people how they should vote because I don't have to have my tax dollars impacted by that.
Right. Now, Bucky, this is obviously not the only project that would be like this in the NFL. You can go the Patriot Place way. You can even go outside. LA is the same kind of idea. All the things around the new stadium there. There was even an article the other day. The Titans are talking about doing something like this in downtown Nashville, of all places. But they want to keep all that, the revenue around the stadium instead of going across to Broadway downtown. So, or combining it into one major district there. So this is not alone. This is not the first or the last team to think about something like this.
No, JP, it's funny because I can tell you in LA with the Rams and what they were able to do with SoFi Stadium, what it did, it actually raised and increased all of the property values around it. And so without knowing LA, Inglewood or areas that really weren't seen as desirable areas to live, it absolutely flipped the perception and it flipped the property value. So there were a lot of people who were able to cash in on those opportunities. And so it can be something that revitalizes an area. And if you want to secure the team and the legacy of the team is one of those things that you have to consider.
All right. The phone lines are open. 355-NFL1, the number 355-6351. More of your calls. It's halftime in L.A. The Jets over the Rams 13-3. The final score in Baltimore, Ravens 40, Jaguars 14. And this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
It's your apartment speaking, and I need some favors. When you're singing in the shower, just try going up a key. You're trying to be an alto when really you're a soprano. Oh, and if you could bundle your renters and car insurance with Geico, it's easy to do online and we could save money. And then, when you read your murder mysteries at night, could you read out loud, but skip the murder parts because I get scared?
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
Jaguars fans, whether it's on the field or in your finances, the key to success is a solid plan. From high-yield banking to home lending, into retirement, and beyond, TIAA Bank offers solutions that can help you achieve your goals and make the most of your money. It's time for a plan. Start building your legacy today at TIAABank.com/Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports watching drink of all time, Pepsi. With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet, but thanks to Pepsi, even Mike can't ruin my football party.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
Jaguars fans, game day is back, and while it might look a little different this year, the good times, smooth drinks, and tailgate excitement will never change when you're cheering on the Jags with Jameson. So pull up a seat, pour a smooth Jameson, ginger, and lime, and enjoy game day with Jameson. Taste responsibly. Jameson Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Product of Ireland. Copyright 2020. Imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York. Brooks Rehabilitation outpatient locations throughout Florida are currently open and accepting in-person and telehealth appointments. They're following CDC guidelines to include screenings, temperature checks, face masks, social distancing, and additional sanitizing of all surfaces. They're taking extra precautions to ensure your safety so you can focus on your recovery. Please call their central intake unit at 904-345-7277, option 3 to schedule your visit. Brooks Rehabilitation is the official rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. The Scoreboard Show continues. Phone lines open, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. Ravens 40, Jaguars 14. The Jets have the lead at halftime over the Rams. We'll keep you posted on that one when they kick off in the second half. They're at the break currently. A few minutes left on the clock at halftime at the new stadium in Los Angeles. We talk a lot about the quarterback, and if the Jags get that first pick, and who it could be, and all that, and who it will be, and all the other weapons on offense. But the defense needs a little work too, guys. I mean, at what point do what do you do? Where do you start defensively, Bucky, in rebuilding this group? I know the offense, I think, has to be the priority because that's the way the league is now. We've tried the whole drafting first-round defensive guys and fortifying the defense, and we see what has happened with that. You got to score and keep up with people. I get that. But where do you start on the defensive side once you've tried to start on offense?
I think you have to ignore everything that's been done prior to this year. And I think you have to continue to commit to being good. The teams that are the best are the teams that are great in the trenches. And so the defensive line has to be the strength of your team. And so that means multiple pass rushers, one inside, one outside, being able to dominate with a run stuffer. I think your linebacker core is solid with Miles Jack and Joe Schobert. I don't think you need to address that. But I think you got to continue to pour resources and assets into that defensive line. And I know we can sit here and say, well, look, we have Kayvon Chasen was a first rounder. Josh Allen was a first round. Taven Bryan was a first rounder. Put some more first rounders up there. I mean, that's you just have to continue to add pieces. And I don't know if you can solve all of it through the draft. Maybe free agency can help you find a guy or two, but it has to be the front line. I still think you need a safety, and you need to make sure that you have another corner. If you feel good about C.J. Henderson, you still need to have someone opposite him. The league is a three-corner league. You have to have three good corners to be able to play. And so D-line, cornerbacks. You got to make sure you have those guys to be able to play.
And, Bucky, it might be more than one corner, too.
Yeah,
I mean, with
sure.
Sidney Jones, he looked like a guy at a certain point this season where we were eager to see him re-sign here, and then he hasn't been able to stay healthy with the Achilles issue. So you hope the best for him, but he played very well. But you don't know if C.J. Henderson is a high-level player. DJ Hayden's contract is up after this year, so, are you going with one of the on-the-roster options? So you may need a nickel. You may need a starter opposite C.J. Henderson. And, I mean, in this league, you can never have too many of the good ones on that side. So I think you got to pour a couple of that, whether that's free agency in combination with the draft or a couple of draft picks. I think you're going to definitely address that too.
Dempsey, I think you have to do what we call in the business double down. So that means whenever you have a position of weakness, you address it in free agency, but you also address it in the draft. Because everybody that you sign is not necessarily going to hit. We would love to think that, but you want to make sure that you have enough options to throw at it. And when it comes to the cornerback position, you want to think about having 3 starters because the nickel guy is another starter. And so you need to have 3 high-end guys. I will pin in C.J. Henderson and say, hey, he's a first-round pick. We'll put him there. You need at least 2 more guys that can play. And whether you get one of those guys in free agency and another in the draft, you need to make sure you have 3 corners, and you have to find guys that can dominate in the trenches. K'Lavon Chasen is young. Somebody else has to come in opposite Josh Allen and be a double-digit sack guy.
Well, speaking of the corners, that's what they had in 17. They had Jalen outside. They had just drafted him. They had A.J. Boye in free agency, and they had Aaron Colvin, who they had drafted as the nickel. And he was a very good player here.
His play really fell off when he went to Houston. But you're right. When he was here, he was a very solid nickel corner.
Those 3 guys, that's 3 good quality starters at corner. And look what happened.
And they had pass rush.
And they had everything else, too.
And they had linebackers.
Right.
But it makes it a lot easier if you have those 2 things, though. If you have the front end in the trenches, because we can talk about the league being a passing league, but you still have to be big and stout enough to be able to stop the run. And if you look at the way the AFC is constructed, Cleveland, Baltimore, Tennessee, the Indianapolis Colts, even in our division, we have to be able to stop the run to be able to have any chance of getting to the quarterback. And so you have to build ability to contend with the teams in the AFC South and the teams that are in the AFC. And so it starts with the front line, and then you have to make sure that you have speed and coverability in the back end at cornerback.
All right, they've started the second half in Los Angeles. The Jets have the ball to open the half. There was a return of 24 yards, so the Jets had it 1st and 10 from their own 28, and on first down, a 10-yard pass and another first down for the Jets. So they're on the march. The march has begun for the Jets. We'll keep you posted on that one. Let's come back in a moment. Phone lines are open. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. One final segment ahead with more of your calls after a Ravens win over the Jaguars 40-14. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
At ViStar, we believe in better convenience, so members can bank any way they want, whether it's at a branch, on a mobile device, or at one of more than 20,000 fee-free ATMs across North America. We believe that people have better things to do with their time. If you believe that convenience is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports watching drink of all time, Pepsi. With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet, but thanks to Pepsi, even Mike can't ruin my football party.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Here we go. Final minutes of the Scoreboard Show. 355 NFL 1. Some final calls. We have some breaking news in the National Football League. The New York Jets march down the field continues, Bucky. 13-3 is the score. Jets lead. 11:24 to play in the third quarter. But the Jets have it first and goal, now second and goal at the 5-yard line going in.
Punch it in.
Come on now. So, JP, just so we understand this, Sam Darnold has heard the conversation. Sam Darnold knows if they are winless, he is out of a job. So this is the Sam Darnold Bowl. He's in L.A. He's from San Clemente, which is about an hour and a couple minutes away. He is going to give it his all. He does not want Trevor Lawrence to reside in New York. This is the Sam Darnold Bowl. He may do it for us.
15-19 passing, 136 yards and a touchdown, 114 rating so far in today's game. And, that's the Sam Darnold Bowl's going well so far. Let's see if he can punch one in here and get it done. Second and goal at the 5-yard line, and he's thrown down to the 1. That's it. So it's third down and goal at the 1.
To the 1.
We'll keep you posted.
The beautiful thing for people who are watching now online, Jaguars.com, just out of your view behind us, there is a room full of people here that are all taking in the same plays here on Red Zone, and everyone's like biting their fingers on the edge of their seat watching. It's a little tense around.
You might hear some
right
yelling
now.
here in a second if they punch this in. Anyway, let's get to a phone call.
Let's. We got Greg in Ponte Vedra next up at 355 NFL 1. Greg, you're on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks.
Hey, listen, I hope that he punches this in so that we get the number 1 draft pick.
Well, they just stopped him short inside the 1-yard line. It's fourth and
inches.
goal. Oh.
We'll see what they do here.
But listen, guys, I want to talk about the defensive line because I think that that's the key to the Jaguars. You know, when Coughlin was running the show, you know, we had Marcel Darius and Calais Campbell, and you know what? You know, we were Saxonville. And if you don't get to the quarterback in this league, and Bucky, you know this, if you don't get to the quarterback, secondary has no chance. You know, I tell you what, invest in the defensive line.
Okay, thank you, Greg.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's arguing with you. I think we just made that case in the last segment.
Well, I will say that costs money, though, too, now. I mean, there's money to spend here, but when they had Malik Jackson and Calais Campbell and Marcel Darius, those guys don't come cheap, Bucky. That's how it works.
No, they don't come cheap, and so you have to pick and choose how you want to do it. And the beauty of it is, though, JP, if you have the quarterback playing on his rookie deal, that gives you about a 5-year window to be able to do it. So what you can do is take a guy that is in his prime, and maybe you're overpaying him, but for those 3 or 4 years while the quarterback is playing on the cheap deal, you can absorb that. And it was a little bit of that when it was Saxonville, because Bortles hadn't quite got the big money yet, so you still could take some of those guys. But once you pay the quarterback, then things begin to change. And so, yeah, it's all about the D-line, the O-line, and the quarterback. You get those 3 right, it gives you an opportunity.
Let me see what you think about this, Bucky, because I don't think the Chargers would ever do this, right? Because they'd be committed to their guy. If you had the number 1 pick, would you trade it for Justin Herbert? Because he's already shown that he could play at a very high level in this league. He's got all the physical tools as well. And as much as we think Trevor Lawrence projects to be a superstar, he hasn't proven that yet. Would you make that move? It's a hypothetical. I don't think it would get done, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, I think they're very, very similar as players. I think when you look at Justin Herbert, I think you're envisioning what Trevor Lawrence is going to be. Now, the Trevor Lawrence staunch supporters will say, oh, my gosh, he's a notch better. But I think if you get Justin Herbert, I think you're fine because Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence are the same size, same athletic attributes, same leadership traits. Trevor Lawrence may be a little more vocal, not much, but you're really looking at two guys that are very similar. And so, I mean, whether you trade it, like you just have seen Justin Herbert do it. Oh,
Touchdown Jets.
Jets.
J-E-T-S.
The whole room, everyone in the room
Jets.
just pumped that fist in the air. You can't see everybody else. It was all in unison. They all rose up, fist in the air. It was a beautiful sight.
The only thing I can see, because I have my TV muted, but when I saw the J.P. Shadrick and Dempsey fist pump that John Owen, I was like, oh, it must be something positive. It must be something positive.
It's a 1-yard run for Frank Gore over left tackle, and the extra point pending. It's 19-3 Jets with 8:30 to play in the third quarter.
Oh.
Love it. We got another one on the line, by the way.
And this is the difficult part, right? Because now when you're watching the game, you just want the clock to run out.
Yep.
And we can't fast forward the clock out.
Right.
But, man, what a Christmas gift.
Oh, my gosh. It's early, but, kick the extra point, make this a 3-score game is what I'm saying right now. Because 16, they'll blow a 16-point lead.
Yes.
They'll probably blow a 17, but please kick the extra point right now.
Yes, they will. Hasn't updated yet. We'll keep you posted.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. DDT.
No, you're good.
I think
we
late on that.
We're good.
All right, we got John and Callahan up next here on the Scoreboard Show. John, you're on with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, please.
Extra point's good, by the way.
Hey, Bucky. I just really love Frank Gore right now. I mean, he's doing a wonderful job. He has done a wonderful job in the NFL for a long time, I feel like. Now, one thing I like to say is a lot of people are talking about quarterbacks that we might draft. Okay, this Justin Fields has been coming up a lot. And from what I saw in the Ohio State Northwestern game is Blake Bortles all over again. 21 of what? 9 of 21 with 60 yards rushing, a lot of that. If we don't get Trevor Lawrence, I want a Mac Jones. Somebody like that. I mean, we got not a bad team, but a team that can come back, I feel like, if we have a good, solid quarterback. What do you think, Bucky?
Thanks for the call.
I mean, I think there are a couple of other guys before you get to Mac Jones. I think Zach Wilson from BYU or Trey Lance would be the thing. And I think right now, based off how Justin Fields has played in 2 games that everyone has watched, Indiana and Northwestern, I think there's going to be a lot more intrigue over Zach Wilson. And I think the scouts and the front office people are going to have to look at that, because when I looked at Justin Fields against Northwestern, I am concerned about his indecision, his indecisiveness against soft coverage. It seems like it takes him a while to get to the check down, and that is an issue. As far as Mac Jones, I think what's hard when it comes to Mac Jones, and some of this was also hard with some of the other guys coming out of Alabama, how much of it is Mac Jones? How much of it is the people that he is throwing to? And I think it's not fair to him in that evaluation, but I think it's something that has to be discussed, because you do wonder, is he a transcendent player, or is he surrounded by generational talents that make the game really, really easy for him?
I mean, Devontae Smith is running wide open on slants all day long. I mean, all day long. I think I could hand it out there to him and probably throw for $150, man.
Sure.
But he looks. Look, Mac Jones threw the ball very well, I thought, the other night as well. But you're right, he's got some talent. How do you is he good? As good, Devontae, as some of these other guys, Jerry Jeudy and the like, that have come out of Alabama in recent years, or is he even better, Bucky, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, I think he may be a notch better, because I say he's a more complete receiver than Henry Ruggs. I say he's a little more explosive than Jerry Jeudy, and I love Jerry Jeudy because I think Jerry Jeudy is one of the best route runners that I watched in college. I think he is in that Calvin Ridley category, but with even more juice. And so when we think about the guys that have come out of Alabama, I mean, it's Julio Jones. And then, I mean, I think you could put him right up under that in terms of what he's going to be. The only thing that I worry about is, like, when you see a guy like that, because he's a little thin, you just wonder, can he hold up to the rigors of being the number one? But, man, he's as talented as they come. And I can't imagine how good they would be, man, if Waddle was able to play. Like,
right.
My gosh.
That's without Waddle. Yeah. And they're doing what they're doing right now. That's pretty remarkable. But, yeah, Devontae Smith has it all. The leaping ability. We saw the catch against LSU a few weeks ago. He went up, 10 feet, 8 inches or whatever to grab the ball. I mean, that's incredible.
He is thin, though, man. He's like a little rail out there. But he took some big shots on Saturday and popped back up. So
and he's talented. I think that's the thing. Like, obviously, like the scout of me is always like, well, what's the one thing that you could ding him on? Is he's thin, but the playmaking ability and all of that you love. And I think the other thing that came out of that game, finally, there's going to be an appreciation for Najee Harris. Najee Harris has kind of been flying under the radar for a long time, but he's one of the best running backs that I've seen. For a guy his size to not only be able to run it like that, but to catch the ball out the backfield, that is the prototypical RB1 that you want. To can run it, can catch it, and do it with size, speed, and physicality.
Are you a Najee Harris or Travis Etienne guy, if you could only have one?
I like Najee better because I think Travis Etienne is a little more straight line, a little more one cut. At his best, like if you go all the way back to like CJ2K, Chris Johnson, when he was at Tennessee, he is a little like that, not as fast, but he doesn't have like the natural pitter pat. If you ask Fred Taylor about that, Fred would tell you like it takes Etienne maybe a little time to make cuts. Whereas when you look at Najee, it's smooth and fluid. And so I think Etienne is a really good player. I just think stylistically, he may not be conducive to necessarily be a true number one because I don't think he's a very natural pass catcher either.
The update now from Los Angeles after the kickoff. Thank you for the music. The kickoff was a touchback, and on first down, Goff hit Higbee on a little kind of comebacker, and then he runs for 44 yards. There was a defensive holding call declined, and now an 11-yard run by Akers for 11 yards and to the Jets' 31-yard line.
Well, when you see the Higbee play, Higbee puts a spin move like it's right out of a video game. It's so slow developing 360 that he did with a Jets defender on him. Nobody grabs him. He went an extra 35 yards after the spin move. So yeah,
the run by Akers got down to the 20-yard line, and then Goff just hit Reynolds for a 5-yard gain down to the 15.
Yeah, so look, still plenty of time for the Jets to beat the Jets here.
Go easy. Get a little Pepto. We're going to get a little queasy because I'm already it's going to come down to the end. The Jets are not going to blow them out. So it's going to come down to the end. We're going to need a little Pepto, a little Malox, some of those things. But maybe, just maybe, we might get the Christmas gift that we want.
We might.
Maybe.
Turnover here would be beautiful. And the thing was, on the play, everyone in the room, it's a 44-yard play. There's a flag on the play. And everyone's like, is it coming back? Is it coming back? And they go
defensive.
holding,
No.
and they point to the defense, and everyone just went, oh, man. It's really the ebb and flow of the Jaguars radio studio is something to behold right now.
And the Jets defense just got to stop at the line of scrimmage, so it's third down 5.
Yeah, they did, JP.
Big third down here coming. Big. Do we have any more calls, or are we just going to talk about the Jets game the rest of the night?
Talking about the Jets.
Okay.
until you want to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's see what they do on third down here, and then we'll wrap it up.
We may as well, right? See if we can force a field
we can't
goal
call it. That's against the rules.
No, it's
but
third.
We'll just tell you the result.
6, so 35 at the 15.
I'm okay with it though.
Yeah. So big play here, and Goff throws into the end zone. It looks like a great catch. Touchdown Rams. It is. Touchdown Rams. That's not good. That doesn't help anybody.
That does not.
So
it's JP.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fourth quarter game.
I know.
It wasn't going to. They'll never make it easy. They'll never make it easy for us. And so it'd be one of those things. If Sam Darnold can get it done, something that he hasn't been able to do the first 3 years in the league, but maybe today's the day.
Maybe today. The Sam Darnold Bowl is when he steps up.
If they make the extra point, right, it's basically the Jets had a 10-point lead at the half. If we said, hey, we'll cut the third quarter down by 9 minutes, that's the same thing. They'll have a 10-point lead, and 9 minutes will have gone by. So I'm trying to think positive, boys.
All right. Well, Bucky, well done. Thank you. We'll talk to you, I guess, on Wednesday, right? That'll be Jaguars Happy Hour. Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Getting ready for Week 16, and I know you guys will be busy on Jaguars Today tomorrow.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 10 to noon, and we'll be off Thursday and Friday like most people.
All right, we'll see the result of the Jets game. We know the result of the Jaguars game, 13 consecutive losses now for the Jags. 2 weeks to go. Bucky Brooks, Mike Dempsey, I'm JP Shadrick. Thank you for the calls tonight. We'll catch you next time.
Merry Christmas, Bucky.
Oh, yeah. Merry
Happy
Christmas,
holidays, guys.
everybody. Happy holidays. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.